Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Couldn't quite get to 40 today, but now that the weekend is here, we'll do better, and there's a hint of what else is coming with it.
Testing going on right now live at 5 on what eventually becomes your drinking water after possible contaminants fall into the Detroit River. Right now, we're breaking down exactly what you need to know.
An honor for a hero killed in the line of duty.
I promote Roisin McClain to the rank of sergeant.
A sea of blue today as police from all over the country pay their respects to Sergeant Roisin McClain. So many moving scenes today at Greater Grace Temple, including this one.
Hundreds of officers standing at attention at McClain's casket as it was wheeled out of the church. Paula Tutman is live at Greater Grace Temple tonight. Paula, law enforcement really is one big family.
Yeah, it really is. And that sea of blue, that is the way to say that. That is something to see for sure. And indeed, this is a tough day. This is a tough day for everybody, including the entire community. I think you could say that one line of duty death is too many, but even the chief of police says that he believes that people see them as having more than their fair share. He died an officer, but Roisin McClain will be buried a sergeant.
Therefore, with the authority given me, I promote Roisin McClain to the rank of sergeant.
For the state of Michigan, Sergeant McClain is the 598th line of duty death. Chief James Craig has personally seen 10 of his officers fall.
Each and every time, it gets no easier. There's no book on how to do it.
And today it seemed to wear on him differently. He was less stoic and less direct, more pensive and more personal.
I listen to the radio. I talked about that. I hear the calls for help. At times I've heard the screams. It's nothing like hearing an officer's call for help and hearing shots fired. And then you begin to wonder, is everybody okay?
Today he was micro-focused on the young cadets and what he has to say to their families.
I have to look in the eyes of those new officers' parents and say that we will keep them ethically and morally safe. It's a very dangerous job, and I know in 43 years, this is as bad as it can get. I've never seen it at any time in my history with the number of police officers that have made the ultimate sacrifice.
As always, officers came from miles away, some driving 10 hours to get here. But on a day when one of their own is given his last assignment, it is a day where there are no jurisdictions or county lines or state lines. There is only one thin blue line. Yeah, it really is such a painful day, and imagine what this is for Sergeant McClain's wife and his family. Of course, it's painful for the chief, but I do want to say I saw something different today. It seemed more visibly painful to the chief. One other thing I want to note, I just want to make sure that I emphasize that the number I gave you on the line of duty deaths, that's for the entire state of Michigan. Again, way too many, but they are certainly resolved that this is a great profession. It is an important profession, and it will continue. I want to take a moment to thank Sergeant McClain's family for their deep sacrifice. Guys, back to you.
And we thank them as well, and our thoughts are with his family during this difficult time. Paula, we appreciate it.
New tonight, a trainee with the Saudi Air Force has been identified as the gunman who opened fire inside the Naval Air Station in Pensacola, Florida. Right now, the death toll stands at 4. That includes the shooter, but with many others wounded. Jay Gray is in Pensacola tonight. Jay?
Good evening. Agents say there is no clear motive right now early in their investigation. That investigation right now centered on a foreign national training here at the Navy base.
All hands are ordered to shelter in place.
Surrounding neighborhoods and Naval Air Station Pensacola locked down as shots ring out.
This doesn't happen in Escambia County. It doesn't happen in Pensacola. It doesn't happen to our friends and neighbors who are members of the United States Navy. But it did.
Law enforcement sources telling NBC News it was a Saudi national training at the base who opened fire inside a classroom.
I think there's obviously going to be a lot of questions about, this individual being a foreign national, being a part of the Saudi Air Force.
11 people hit, 3 victims killed. The suspect has gone down by sheriff's deputies, 2 of the officers wounded during the shootout but expected to survive.
There was some real heroism today. I mean, real heroism.
The FBI now leads the investigation into what is the second deadly shooting at a Navy base in as many days. Wednesday, a sailor at the Navy shipyard in Pearl Harbor killed 2 civilian Department of Defense employees and wounded a third before taking his own life. Back in Pensacola, the investigation intensified as this community begins a more difficult task.
There are grieving mothers and fathers today who will never recover from this day.
Dealing with the pain of overwhelming loss. Now, President Trump says he is monitoring the situation here and offering his condolences in a Twitter post, also writing that he is in direct communication with King Salman in Saudi Arabia. In Pensacola, Florida, I'm Jay Gray. Back to you now.
All right, Jay, and speaking of, King Salman says Saudi security services will give access to any information that the FBI needs in the case.
Today, the EPA was on site in southwest Detroit amid worries about a seawall collapse at a contaminated site along the Detroit River.
Very worrisome stuff. This is new video from Sky 4 over the site right next door to historic Fort Wayne. It used to be a manufacturing facility. It is believed to be contaminated with uranium. We bring in Sean Lay. Testing results done by the state today. What have we got, Sean?
Listen to some of the testing being done here. Radiation detection. The good news is that showed at or below background levels. That's good news. Here's who was here today. Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, Great Lakes Water Authority, the Detroit Health Department. Kimberly mentioned the EPA, even the FBI, in case there was something found in the crumbling soil here that they needed to secure. The big picture is now water samples from upstream, downstream, and right here at the shoreline. They're being expedited right now in a lab in Lansing.
But the big picture is this: Detroit Bulk Storage did not notify Eagle, did not notify the authorities when this happened. The Windsor Star, a Canadian newspaper, is the one that notified Americans, Michiganders, of what happened.
The Sierra Club and other environmental groups sounding the alarm after a riverside site at Detroit Bulk Storage collapsed November 26, potentially sending uranium and other contaminants into the Detroit River and our water supply. The Sierra Club says the company did not tell state environmental officials about the incident.
Why weren't residents notified? Why didn't the company notify authorities? And so we have a lot of questions because of that.
Today at the site, government environmental officials putting up a drone to get a better look. Local 4 put up our drone yesterday to see the collapse and its potential impact. What you need to know about your water right now: a water intake facility for Detroit is at Waterworks Park north of Belle Isle. Tonight, the Great Lakes Water Authority telling us, quote, because it's upstream of the site, there is no danger of any potential water quality issues for the collapse.
What went into the water? At what point? Water quality, was that impacted? Is it impacted now? Was it impacted a week ago when this event happened?
Back here live, we mentioned the upstream water intake near Belle Isle or past Belle Isle. If you live in downriver communities, there's an intake downriver here, downstream a couple of miles on the Canadian side. So health officials are believing that this flow of this may not impact that, but that's why these water samples now being expedited in Lansing are so key. I just got off the phone with state officials. They say they want to know what's in those samples. Back to you.
It probably doesn't sound all that comforting if you live downriver at the moment. Talk a little bit, though, about the previous testing. We talked about today's results. How does that compare to what we've seen in the past?
Yeah, previous uranium testing right here at the site, just right near us here, did not show any levels or just background levels at that time of those tests. But these next tests certainly key. And you mentioned downriver communities, but the state is not calling for any water emergencies at this time. They said they need to find out what's in the samples.
And we will stay on it. Critical matter. All right, Sean. Well, heading into the weekend, Ben has got some good news, I hear.
We need some good news.
Yes.
We got a good dose of sunshine today.
Yeah,
that was nice.
It was.
And we're going to get more of it, I understand, over the next few days, right, Ben?
It has taken me 5 days to get you some good news, but yeah, we've got it going into the weekend. Even with those glimpses of sunshine today, it wasn't enough to warm us up. We're still above freezing, but that's the best thing we can say with these temperatures. 32 in Lapeer, 36 officially right now in Metro, and there's a noticeable breeze out there, so it feels like the mid-20s in most locations. We'll see some gusty winds going into the weekend as well, but look at where these temperatures are going over the next 7 days. Nothing really static, that's for sure. We will stay above or right at average through Saturday, and then numbers start to peak on Sunday and Monday, but then go way down. These are high temperatures Wednesday and Thursday in the 20s. We'll look at where the lows go and how much precipitation is going to be coming with it, all in a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Ben. The UAW International Executive Board voted today to dissolve UAW Region 5 amid the ongoing corruption scandal. Region 5 covers 17 states in the west and southwestern U.S. Those states are going to be merged now between UAW Regions 4 and 8. That's a merger that will be effective February 28th of the new year.
A big announcement at the Wayne State Board of Governors meeting today. Roy Wilson will remain president of the university despite an attempt to remove him. That's because the state attorney general's office issued an opinion today saying the vote to fire him was not legal. It happened during a committee meeting last month, not an open board meeting. Right now, the board is split 4-4 in their support for Wilson. Tension is high over land deals and the university's tuition pledge.
We are off and running on this Friday. Here's Priya Mann.
From the cap and gown to a graduation cake, when this student couldn't make his own graduation, these folks found a way to surprise him in the hospital.
And chess with a champion. Live pictures as 50 kids get a chance to play a real grandmaster all at the same time. Rod.
The Grinch Who Stole Christmas may be a cartoon, but the thieves taking this time of year are for real.
They're not really stealing from the Salvation Army. They're taking from families that need a little extra help throughout the year.
How did the Salvation Army lose on this one, and what will they do going forward? We'll take a look.